You scrub the sink until it shines. You run water for a full minute. You lean over the drain and the smell is still there, rotten, like something died inside the pipe. So you run more water, thinking you will flush whatever is stuck down there. And the smell gets worse. Not a little worse, noticeably worse, like stirring something up. That is your first clue. Because if the smell were coming from a piece of food caught somewhere in the pipe, running water would push it along. It would not make the smell stronger. The problem is not food stuck in your drain. What you are smelling is something growing on the inside walls of the pipe itself. A slimy coating of bacteria that feeds on grease, soap, hair, and whatever else washes down every day. Their waste is what produces that rotten smell. And no amount of running water will wash it off, because the water flows through the center of the pipe. The coating is on the walls. Here is what takes it off. Half a cup of baking soda, poured dry straight into the drain. Follow it with half a cup of white vinegar. You will hear it fizz. Let it sit for 15 minutes, then flush the whole thing with a full kettle of boiling water. But if you pour that baking soda into a drain full of standing water, it dissolves before it ever touches the walls, and you are right back where you started. My name is Anna Beiler. I was raised Amish in Ohio, where we did not call a plumber for a smell. We found the cause, and we fixed it with what we had on the shelf. So let me show you why this actually works. Because the same reason explains why every other thing you have tried does not. Think about what happens when you pour bleach or liquid drain cleaner into a pipe. The liquid drops straight down through the center. It hits the water sitting in the curved pipe underneath, mixes in, and drains away. The walls of the pipe above that water line never get touched. The coating sitting on those walls never gets disturbed. That is why the smell comes back within 2 or 3 days every single time. You are treating the center of the pipe. The problem is on the walls. Now think about what is feeding that layer. In a kitchen drain, it is grease from cooking, bits of food, soap from the dish rack. That is why a kitchen drain tends to smell rotten, almost like spoiled meat. In a bathroom, it is different. The layer feeds on soap scum, toothpaste, hair, and dead skin. That smell is more earthy, like a damp basement. Same kind of coating, same walls. But the smell tells you which drain is the problem, even if you cannot see it. And once that layer gets thick enough, it protects itself. A thin rinse of bleach or a squirt of drain cleaner slides right over it, the same way water slides off a greasy pan. You might kill a little on the surface, but underneath, the layer stays. That is why you can pour cleaner down the drain every week, and the smell just keeps coming back. Baking soda works differently because it is a dry powder. When you pour it into a dry drain, it does not drop straight through. It scatters, it clings. It sits on the walls of the pipe, the same way flour sits on the inside of a bowl when you dust it. It lands where the liquids never reach. When the vinegar follows, it reacts with the baking soda right there on the wall. That fizzing action breaks into the coating and loosens it from the surface. The boiling water that comes after does 2 things at once. It melts the grease holding the layer together, and it flushes the loosened pieces down and out. That is the method. But the order matters more than the ingredients. First, make sure the drain is as dry as you can get it. If there is standing water, bail it out with a cup or let it drain slowly. You want that baking soda to land on the pipe walls, not dissolve in a puddle. Second, pour the baking soda slowly. Do not dump it all at once. Tap the side of the measuring cup so it scatters down and coats the inside of the pipe. Third, pour the vinegar slowly for the same reason. You want the fizz to happen on the walls, not in one spot at the bottom. Fourth, wait the full 15 minutes. Most people rush this part. The fizzing needs time to work into that layer. If you flush too early, you wash away the baking soda before it finishes the job. Fifth, the boiling water must be a full, rolling boil. Warm water from the tap will not do it. Boil a full kettle and pour it in one steady stream. After you do this, lean over the drain again. The smell should be noticeably weaker or gone entirely. If the water that comes through runs grey or brownish for a moment, that is the coating breaking loose. That is exactly what you want to see. If the smell comes back within a few days, repeat the treatment. Some drains that have not been cleaned in months need 2 or 3 rounds before the layer is fully gone. And if the coating is especially thick, a simple bottle brush or a tube brush from the hardware store, pushed straight down into the drain and twisted a few times, will scrub the worst of it off the walls before you pour anything. That physical step makes the baking soda treatment work twice as fast, because you are breaking the surface open instead of trying to dissolve through it. But here is something that catches people by surprise. There is a second kind of drain smell that has nothing to do with the coating at all. And this one comes from drains that look perfectly clean. If you have a bathroom that nobody uses very often, or a floor drain in the basement, or a laundry drain that only runs once a week, check there, because those drains might be the real source. Under every drain in your house, there is a curved section of pipe that holds a small amount of water at all times. You might have seen it under the sink. It is that U-shaped piece. That water sitting in the curve is not a leftover from the last time you ran the faucet. It is there on purpose. It acts as a seal. Sewer gas rises up through the pipes from below, and that little pool of water blocks it from coming into your house. But if a drain does not get used for 2 or 3 weeks, that water slowly evaporates. Once it dries out, there is nothing between the sewer line and your bathroom. The gas comes straight up through the open pipe and into the room. That is raw sewer gas, and it does not smell like the coating problem. It smells sharper, more like rotten eggs, and it hits you the moment you walk into the room, not just when you lean over the sink. The fix for this one is almost too simple. Run water in every drain you do not use regularly. 5 seconds of water from the faucet refills the seal completely. That is it. No baking soda, no vinegar, just water. Now here is how you tell which kind of drain smell you are dealing with, because the treatment is completely different. Walk up to the drain that smells. Turn on the faucet and let a little water run for about 5 seconds, then lean in and smell. If the smell gets stronger for a moment, you have the coating problem. Running water disturbed the layer on the walls and stirred the smell up. That drain needs the baking soda treatment. If the smell disappears almost immediately, you had a dry seal. The water you just ran refilled the curve and blocked the sewer gas. No treatment needed. Just remember to run water in that drain once a week so it does not dry out again. That one test tells you exactly what you are dealing with. For prevention, here is what I do. Every drain in my kitchen and both bathrooms gets the baking soda flush once a month. It takes about 2 minutes per drain, and every drain that does not get daily use, the guest bathroom sink, the basement floor drain, I run water in them for a few seconds every week when I am already doing my cleaning. The coating does come back on its own. It is not a one-time fix. Every time you wash dishes, take a shower, or brush your teeth, you are sending down the things it feeds on. But a monthly treatment keeps that layer thin enough that it never builds up to the point where you can smell it. Think of it the same way you think about sweeping a floor. You do not sweep once and expect it to stay clean forever. You sweep because dust comes back. Same idea. One more thing I want to be honest about. If you do this treatment twice, and you have checked every unused drain for a dry seal, and the smell still will not go away, the problem may not be in the drain at all. A sewer smell that does not respond to anything could mean a crack in a vent pipe on your roof, or a problem deeper in the main sewer line. That is the point where you stop trying to fix it yourself and call a plumber. Not because you did anything wrong, but because the problem moved past what a kitchen remedy can reach. 9 times out of 10, though, it is the coating or the dry seal, and both of those you can handle tonight with what is already on your shelf. If your drain has been driving you crazy, pour that baking soda down there this evening and tell me in the comments how long the smell has been bothering you. Some of you are going to be shocked at what comes loose. I read every comment. God bless you and your home. I will see you in the next one.